Chapter 8, Sowing the Seeds of Rishi Tradition. After the work at Mathura had been stabilized on a satisfactory footing, I received the third call from the Himalayas, in which there was indication about the next phase of the assignment to be given to me. There had been considerable pressure in the continuing phase of work, which had resulted in exhaustion, although success had been achieved. Under these circumstances, this invitation for recharging the battery was most welcome. I set out for the pilgrimage on the prescribed day in June 1971. There was no difficulty as I was familiar with the route. The cold was also not as severe as it was at the time of my first pilgrimage. I also did not feel loneliness. I was escorted by Gurudev's messenger from Gomukh to Nandanvan as usual. The auspicious moment to which I was keenly looking forward throughout the journey ultimately arrived. After exchange of reverent courtesies and blessings, the impartation of guidance started. Gurudev said, "You have to leave Mathura and shift to Haridwar and start the work of reviving the Rishi traditions. You will recall that when you came here for the first time, you had met Rishis living in this region in their astral bodies, and each of them had expressed distress at the extinction of their traditions, and you had promised that you would accomplish this task. This time, you have been summoned for this purpose." God has no physical form. Whenever something epoch-making is sought to be achieved, Rishis who remain engrossed in tapashcharya bestow their powers on Devatmas, great personages, and get the work done through them. Vishwamitra took Bhagwan Ram to his ashram, hermitage, on the pretext of defending his yajna, trained him in Bala, Gayatri, and Atibala, Savitri Vidya's spiritual knowledge, and got the citadel of demoniac forces demolished, thus paving the way for the establishment of Ram Rajya, rule of truth and righteousness. Sri Krishna had gone for studies to Sandipan Rishi and returned after he had been duly imparted the message of Gita, his role in Mahabharata epoch, and in carrying forward the Rishi tradition of Sudama. Ancient scriptures are full of descriptions how Rishis molded great personages and got important work accomplished through them, although they themselves always remained engrossed in spiritual pursuits, sadhana, research, etc. It is this work which you have to accomplish. The seer of Gayatri Mantra was Vishwamitra, who had lived in Sapt Sarovar Haridwar and had acquired mastery in the miraculous power of Gayatri. That place is now reserved for you. You will be able to find it out easily. Name it as Shantikunj Gayatri Tirth and sow the seeds of all the life-transforming traditions which were established by the Rishis when they lived in their physical forms. They need a physical medium to get their work done. I, too, had felt a similar need found in you. A competent person contacted you and initiated you in this task. These other Rishis have also similar aspirations. You have to sow anew the seeds of old Rishi traditions, which is no doubt a difficult task, but you will be getting patronage, blessings, and divine gifts of executing competence from me as well as from all these Rishis, and you will proceed in carrying out the given assignments undeterred. Briefly describing the still incomplete work of the Rishis, I was asked to acquaint people with the power of Gayatri Mahamantra according to the tradition of Vishwamitra Rishi and to establish a Siddhapith Gayatri Tirth to write books and 18 volumes of Pragya Puran in Vyas tradition, to extend the science and philosophy of Yoga Sadhana in Patanjali tradition, to build up an atmosphere of refined and ennobling vibrations by eradicating evil tendencies from the minds of people according to Parashuram tradition, to conduct scientific research and popularize use of medicinal herbs according to Charak tradition, to heal and set right mental disorders by holistic treatments of Yagyopathy in Yagyavalk tradition, to establish sadhana aranyaks for promoting the growth of goodness and character building in Jandagni tradition, to lead wandering life of a religious mendicant, Parivrajak, with the aim of imparting true knowledge and guidance for the spread of religious and spiritual consciousness in Narad tradition, to provide guidance through the medium of ethics to the administrative setup in the tradition of Aryabhat, to build up Pragya Sansthans at different places in Shankaracharya tradition, to promote all-round health with the help of proper dieting, Ahar Kalp according to Piplada tradition, and to convene Pragya Sammelans from place to place for educating the masses according to Sooth Shaunik tradition. Gurudev also indicated the outline of establishing Brahmavarchas Research Institute for conducting research on scientific lines according to the scientific traditions of Atharvaved, as was done by Kanad Rishi. I was explained in detail what I had to do at Haridwar and how difficulties coming in my way were to be resolved. I assimilated each and every word uttered by Gurudev. Last time, when I had visited the Himalayas, I was to act according to the directions given by Gurudev alone. This time, I was assigned the onerous responsibilities of undertaking additional momentous tasks. This poor donkey was to be more alert and more diligent. Without elaborating, Gurudev simply gave a hint that after doing all this, I will have to pay a fourth visit to the Himalayas and shoulder still greater responsibilities and take steps to withdraw into the astral body. I was informed that the work at Haridwar would be more difficult than that at Mathura. The onslaughts of devilish elements would have to be faced more resolutely, and there would be several ups and downs. After explaining where and how I had to live and perform my daily routine, I was told that I should regard it as a joint program of Gurudev and all other rishis. I assured Gurudev that for me he was the representative of the Supreme Lord and all the rishis and devatas, and all his instructions would be complied with till my last breath. Our talks ended. After bidding farewell, Gurudev disappeared. I was escorted up to Gomukh by his Veerbhadra. It is not necessary to mention the places where I was required to stay for about a year, as they are inaccessible places in the Himalayas. While returning, I stayed at the place indicated by Gurudev in Haridwar. It was the Tapobhumi of Saptarishis, which was lying deserted and was for sale. It was marshy. Ganga used to flow through this land in the past. I liked it. The owner of the land was contacted. The deal was struck and reduced into writing. I had to take the decision all by myself. The counsel of the advisors was of no avail, as I failed to make them understand the mystical significance of the place, the purpose for which it was being acquired, and the blueprint of the proposed construction. Even the supervisory work of construction had to be done by me. Thus came into being the Shanti Kunj Shaktipeeth at Haridwar. My life, its legacy and message. हमारी वसीयत और विरासत. Author Sri Ram Sharma Acharya.
If you found this video helpful, then please like, comment and share it. and subscribe to our YouTube channel Rishi Chintan. Please press the bell icon so that you will receive notifications of our upcoming videos. Thank you.